Okay, we're going to try and add the slab on and all that sort of stuff for this one, and probably the footings, and show you how to do those. Alright, so basically, not that it matters, but I prefer this other view, so I'll just fix that up for now and do the fine view there. Alright, so what we're going to do is add the slab on. Basically, we go to the architectural tab here, or you can go to the structural. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you just got to pick up the structural slab. If you go from the architecture, it's a bit different. You got to go to floor and then structural floor. Alright, so what we need to do is change this thing here so it's actually a 100mm slab, and you just have to edit it and rename it to concrete 100mm slab. So that's basically on page 8, it should be. Let's have a look. Page 8, so it says just duplicate it and call it that, and we're going to give it that 35 MPa. The later pictures of this down the track here will show the slab as dotted like that. In fact, that is an old image of not the 35 MPa, but it was just a grey concrete, I think it used to be called, in release 2013. So yours won't have these little dots, and nor will mine from now on. So this is not, if yours hasn't got the dots, it's fine, it's perfectly okay. Alright, so that's the new slab we're putting in will be without the dots. Alright, so let's do that. Basically, like everything else we did, like the doors and windows, edit the type, and you just call it concrete 100mm slab by going to duplicate here. Concrete 100mm slab, and that's just the title. What actually does the work is if you edit the structure, and we'll call it 100 there, and under the category we'll change that by clicking on the little 3 dots next to that. Once you click in it, they pop up, and you can scroll down and find concrete, which is not too hard to do. Hopefully it's just there anyway, but you know, if it was a long list, say, and you weren't sure, you can just type in part of the word and you should come up with all the conc style stuff. So there's a few concretes in there, so we'll just pick this one up. So that's another way of filtering it, and we'll just go OK, and we'll just pop it into here. You can't see it because it's a bit small, but you can expand these columns out even more. You can actually see it now. Alright, well, good, really. That's all you have to do there. So that's been set up, which is okay, and then okay that again. And now we just have to make sure all the settings are right, and the settings here should basically be these ones up top here in the options. Extend to core. All that means is that the concrete is going to go to that face there. Structurally, you can put it to the outside, it doesn't really matter, but it's easier for us to put it there because when we do the set down, it works out better when we have to do the set down for the brickwork all around, not the set down, the rebate, concrete rebate. So yeah, we'll just go with that one for now. So again, here we have to have the other settings we have to have is this thing here, which is already on that. So make sure that it's on pick walls. If that's the case, we should be able to just hang around there. All right, just not there, but you know how it's got the little dash. Make sure the dash is on the core like that. Now, if I zoom out, if I go tab, it should pick up all the external walls. And now I do left click with the mouse. Then it selects it all. So it's drawn the sketch in for me. Now there's nothing stopping you from drawing it manually by using this tool up here, the line tool. But I just went for the way I picked the walls, and it's much easier for me. Now once I've done that, I'll just go tick. Now be careful, if you've gone hunting around looking for things after you started this process, and you're going looking around because you may be thinking you stuffed something up, and you're clicking around here, you lose your tick, okay? Although there's a different tick there, that's not the one you want. Alright, so you got to make sure you go on these, always look around for this green looking tab, because that's the one you want usually to be in. So go back there, make sure you click on the tick, and that finishes the slab. It does put in these span direction arrows in there, which is fine. And basically you've got your slab. You have a bit of a look as we usually do in 3D. Oops. Shift key, middle mouse button, and like do the panning action, and you'll be able to swivel around and have a look underneath. There you go. So it's all good. Another way of checking will be going to the section, and you can see it in the section here as well. Again, we can just change this to be fine. So we can see the brickwork and the stud work, and that should be extending in there. Now these fat lines there, sometimes you don't want to see those. So TL for, what's TL stand for again? For thick lines, yeah? Thin, thick lines, it's a toggle. So if you type in TL, it'll make them thin, and TL again will make them thick. So, or just use this button here. It's, all right, so you can see exactly in fine detail where it is. All right, so that's good. We'll go back. What else do we want to do next? We probably need to put in footing next, which is on page 9. All right, so we want the rectangular beam. All right, so that's down here, and you've got to get that from this location at this point. All right, so let's do that. So being a footing, the first thing I thought I should be doing is go to structure and perhaps put in, let me just go back to the ground here, perhaps put in like structural foundation, something like that, or that one there. But in fact, what they do in industry, they don't do that. They use this one here called beam. All right, so we're going to use that. And we don't want to put a steel beam as a footing, of course, so we're going to go find a concrete. The fact is we've got nothing else in here, so we're going to go to download a family, and you can do that on the fly within inside the command, or the footing command, or sorry, the beam command in this instance. Now what I've got to do to find that particular one, and if you follow the notes clearly, it says we have to go to the libraries section, which is actually a step above, so I'll go up one level. And that's in the libraries now, and I can get to the US metric, and then it should be just under structural framing, S for structural framing, and here we are. And then we want to go to concrete, that's what it is, and that's the particular one I chose for you. And if I go to open, all right, now here again, that's not the one we want it to be 350 by 470 deep, relatively shallow footing, must be good soil that it's in, but that option is not there again, as usual, so we have to just click out of there, go into edit type and create a new one, duplicate it, and call this one 350 brackets, that's the width. Always nice to indicate what the 350 is for, and the 0 didn't work for me. Okay, there we go, 350 by the 470, which is the depth. Okay, so we'll just do that, so people know what you're talking about. All right, so let's go with that. This is simple. There's no other additional buttons to change. It's just basically from here, and we'll just change that to be 350. Is that what I did? Yep, 350 there. And the other one is the 470, and go OK. So now we've got that one already set. It's just a matter of then making sure the rest of it is OK. And we're going to go with using pig lines, all right, according to our instructions here. And the other thing we're going to make sure is that some settings here are set up properly for us, and it's going to be right justified. The Y justification has to be right justified. So we'll do that, and then yeah, and we're also going to drop it minus 30. So the internal beams in here eventually are going to be 470 deep, sorry, 500 deep. So they're going to start from the top. They're not going to be offset minus 30. So anyway, we're doing this minus 30 thing because there's a rebate that goes around the house, so for the brickwork to be dropped down into. So that's why we're doing that. So let's do that. Minus 30. And you can change this afterwards if we forget to do that now. that the minus 30 anyway. You can do the justification as well. So that's it then. Basically now all we've got to do is just click here. Now I can't do tab here because it doesn't work with the line thing. It only works if you have pick walls, and I haven't got that option here to pick walls. So I just have to click here and go around. Now notice it says something about you can't see what you're drawing in this view, because what it's doing is putting the footing underneath, and in this view I can't see it. So that's fine, we don't have to worry about it, we'll just keep going ignoring that. Some errors you can ignore and just leave it. Alright, so just close that, finish this off confidently, hopefully. It should be there. So I'll just have a look at the 3D to start with, and I have put something there, but look at it. Is it? Yes, it's there. Alright, so that's all good so far. And all we've got to do then is just, if I look at the section, we need to drop these down about 20 mil, leaving us with a 10 millimeter gap. I'll show you that next, on how to do that. Alright, so I might, for this thing here, I'll leave it there, and I'll show you the next bit in the next video. Okay.